play. Welcome to Therapeutic Moments Podcast with your host, John Trey Mitchell. I just want to say thank you all for tuning into another episode of Power and Healing. Another episode where we dig deep, we unpack the things of our heart, where we dig deep and understand that I can be better, I can do better. Another moment where we actually able to say that I've been through some things, but I'm waking up every single day and I'm doing something better with myself. Another moment where we say enough is enough. We're gonna make the necessary changes for us in our life, and we're gonna be the best version of ourselves. We're not gonna point the finger at everybody else. We're gonna look at ourselves and say that, you know what, I'm gonna be accountable for my life. And I'm going to know that I have to do what I have to do for me. And as I understand that, I know that I'm gonna be all right because I know what it's like to go through the fire, go through the hell and high water. But I know what it's like to come out of that thing swinging. I know what it's like to come out of that thing shining like pure gold, shining like fire. And so I just want to say thank you all for taking that chance at growing, even in the midst of all of the headache and hangups and hookups that you went through that didn't work out. And so I just want to say thank you all for tapping into another episode, another moment. Yeah, we going up from here. We going up. I know the beginning looks small, and I know that things may be all in shambles. Some things ended. Some disappointments happen, some heartbreaks and some heartaches happen, but it won't always be like this, right? And in the end of the day, though, like God will heal your heart. God is going to heal your heart from all of the bondage, all of the pain that you went through. Nothing catches him by surprise, and I believe that if if he can if he can do so many things for people, I believe he can do it for you too. And God is in the blessing business. God is literally in the blessing business, and so I believe that God is literally going to do something for you that you've been waiting for. I just want to say thank you all for supporting my dreams, supporting my journey, supporting me this far, and I believe that God really want to do something special. And look, I just want to say thank you for supporting my dreams. And if you hadn't got a chance to follow me yet, now would be the perfect time to do so. And my name's on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. I'm gonna get those to you all. For Facebook is John Trey Mitchell, my first name, last name. On Instagram and TikTok is the same name. I am John Trey Mitchell. And for Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, the name is Therapeutic Moments Podcast. So I just want to say thank you all for supporting my dreams. Thank you all for tapping in. Even if you don't follow me, I just want to say thank you all for listening in, for saving me as your favorites. And I just want to say thank you all for everything, the prayers, the upliftment, the encouragements, the comments, the likes and the shares. I thank you all. Thank you all. I wouldn't be where I'm at without you. I mean that in all sincerity. Like literally, y'all share my content and it helps it go out to the world. So it's truly an honor. And so it's time for another moment with your host, John Trey Mitchell. Oh, and so I just want to say we are going to kick off for this podcast, Therapeutic Moments. We are going to kick off our first series, and that is the Love series. LOVE. How many of y'all ever experienced love? Like a real love. I'm talking about love. Have you ever felt this? That you try all different kind of things, but if you try love and you try it and the right kind of love, are you gonna be so much better? And a lot of times I know we go through some things and we go through some heartaches and heartbreaks, and but I believe that that all helps you to find the right kind of love too. And I believe that sometimes you're gonna have to go through some breakups to be made up with the right person. And I believe that you may have to go through some 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 situations to help you to find a right relation, right? It happens, right? Because you sometimes we don't even really know what's good until we see him bad. A lot of times we have been taught wrong. A lot of times we've been taught how to love wrong, and the fact that what is love, and how am I supposed to love? So many different things that we have to understand that about love, that we're gonna unpack this thing right here. We're gonna unpack this one right here. And so love, the first topic of the conversation, the first episode of our series, our love series is says this: love is honest. And so when we think about honesty, we think about the truth. We say that, man, when a person is honest, that person isn't lying, they straightforward, is no cut in the corners, it is no hidden agenda, no hidden motive. It's straightforward, straight direct, and it tell me exactly what it is that it is. And think about when I say love is honest, I'm talking about whenever you can truly say to that person or to the things that you're doing in life, it's honest. We truly know that, okay, well, I can handle this thing with the truth. I can handle whatever it is that I'm dealing with the utmost sincerity, that I don't have to lie about where I'm at in it, because I can be honest. Love is honest. And if I had to put scripture behind this, because I don't really want to just be saying my logic, right? I want to put some scripture behind it. And this is very important too, because this stems from this goes back into what love is, and how is love, and the way of love. And so I'm going to talk about First Corinthians 13. Pretty much this love series is going to come from that particular passage of scripture, First Corinthians 13, verse 6, when it says love does not rejoices in wrong, but it rejoices in truth. Love does not rejoice in wrong, but love rejoices in truth. So we have to ask ourselves the question: who was talking? What was it? What was being said? And what am I supposed to learn from the text? So we know that, or if we did know, we know that now that the Apostle Paul is speaking to the church at Corinth, the Corinthian church, letting them know that the right understanding and expression of genuine godly love was the mandatory right of the use of their gifts. And so the church at Corinth dealt with a lot of immorality. They dealt with a lot of unbelief in God. They had their own way of believing uh, about God. And Paul writes to this church at Corinth, letting them know that I know where you're at. I know this is where you're at. I know your immorality. I know your sinful nature. I know the corruption in your land. And this was a particular area around Greece, that the Corinthian church was at. And so if you ever was to study the society and the culture of that period, uh of that time, then you're gonna see the type of culture and the customs that they had. And they knew of God, but they needed to know what God, the standard of God and the principles of God. And so, anyways, Paul writes to this church, letting them know that I understand where you at, and I understand you want to be able to use the gifts, but if you have not love, you have nothing. If what you're doing aren't aligning to my standards, my will, my way, then it's good for nothing. You can speak eloquently, but if you have not love, you have nothing. You can play the music and be a musician, but if you have not love, you have nothing. You can be doing all these different things for me, but not doing them in me. You can be this want to be perfect person, but if you don't even know who the perfect person is, then you have nothing. It's that simple. Paul was letting them know that it was a standard that they must live by, but they had to know that they had to do it out of love. And I believe that Paul was letting them know that, okay, you can still do the things that God called you to do, but you have to know that you have to do it from a place that God intends for you to do it at, do it in. And I believe that a lot of people do things from a selfish point, a selfish vantage. Why do things selfishly when you could do things generously? Because love is an action, not abstraction. It's patient with people and gracious to them with generosity. And generosity breeds reciprocity. Love is devoted to truth in everything. Love is devoted to truth in everything. Whenever we truly understand that I'm gonna be truthful in my love for a person, I'm gonna be honest about where I'm at with that person, then I'm gonna be able to allow the other person to be able to give me back something that I never thought that I ever have. Love is honest. A lot of times we aren't honest with people whenever we first starting off with them. It's important for us to be honest with them, like express our intentions with them initially. Because whenever we express our intentions with them initially, we're going to be able to let them know where we stand at in our approach with them, in what we want with them, and how we want to spend life with them and how we want to encounter them daily. And I believe that a lot of times whenever we aren't honest with a person intentionally, we don't give them the option to be able to choose if they really want to deal with us. So intentions, right? Intentions mean everything, because whenever we are intentional with someone, we are intentional with our love, then we're going to be deliberate in saying that, hey, I can give you something. I may not be able to give you everything, but I can give you something. And we cannot give a person something based on the idea of where they're going to be at, but we have to give them something based on the fact of where they are at right now. It is important to love a person not from an idea, but from the reality where they're at. It's okay to say that I don't have the necessary tools to be able to love you properly, but I can love you in a way that is going to help you out. Because if I can love you in a way that is going to help you out, it doesn't matter how much love that I do give you. It matters the fact that I am able to love you from a sincere and honest place. And I believe that when we are intentional about the fact that what we want with a person, I believe that we're going to be able to allow love to truly be genuine. We're going to be able to allow ourselves to truly be in a place where we don't have to be fabricated. We can be authentic. Yeah, be intentional. Intentionality is pretty much saying that, look, I see you in this way right now, and I want to get to know you to be able to love you properly, be able to love you in a way that is pleasing to both of us. It's pretty much laying it all out on the table and saying that, okay, well, I can love you like this right now, with a chance of it being like this. Okay, cool. You give them the option. You give them the option to be able to say that I can accept this from you or not accept this from you. Intentions. Love is honest. It's the honesty in that. We don't have to lie about it. Like they say, you don't have to lie to kick it. You don't have to lie to kick it. You don't have to lie to kick it, because at the end of the day, if a person really want to talk to you, they're gonna talk to you. They're gonna accept the love that you give, because they also gonna be able to have their heart ready to be able to receive that love. And so it comes down to revealing, being real, being real with yourself, being real with others, being real with your love. Like I think that whenever we be real with a person, we reveal. Whenever you are real, you reveal. You reveal where you at in life. You reveal what you feel. You reveal how you feel, and you reveal like where you trying to go. And like I said, not too long ago, that you pretty much laying it all out on the table. Like you being real with yourself. And I believe a lot of times we don't be real with where we at in life, and we find ourselves saying that, well, I can love you like this when then you know no we you can't love them like that, because at the end of the day, like, we not being real with ourselves. A lot of, like I said, a lot of times we don't even have the necessary tools to be able to love a person properly, but at the end of the day we think that we can love them based on the idea that I thought I was able to love somebody in his way. And so in First Corinthians 13 chapter, the sixth verse, it says that love doesn't rejoice in wrongdoing, it rejoices in truth. Being real is revealing the things about yourself that you need to initially. I can truly walk down memory lane and say that I wasn't always real in my life. I wasn't always. Uh, I was intentional. I was intentional with doing something. I don't think it was always the right thing. I wasn't, but I wasn't intentional with being real. What do I mean? I mean that I wasn't being real about where I was at, for one. For two, I wasn't being real about what I wanted from that person. Multiple people actually, and I had plenty of different relationships, that I wasn't being real. I wasn't being real about where I was at, and I was leading those particular women on, and it wasn't good, because I'm gonna tell you something real quick. Women are so emotional, and m- probably many women that's listening to this podcast right now, you could probably agree that you are emotional. Are maybe more sensitive or susceptible to expressing your emotions, susceptible to feeling the love, feeling the ooey gooey emotions of what love is. And so I wasn't being real by how I love, and what kind of love I was willing to give at that time. And so what that did was, it it blurred the lines. That's exactly what it did. Whenever you aren't being real, it definitely leaves a lot of guessing, second guessing. Like, is this person really in love with me, or is this person? What does this person really want from me? Can this person really do for me what I need at this time, at this moment right now? What can this person really do for me? And so I wasn't doing that. So what happens is, in that moment, that, well, okay, then I'm not able to really fully tell that person was the right thing, or you're not able to really say that, okay, well, we're not able to go anywhere because you're not even being real with me. I wasn't like that. I wasn't being real with those particular people. And what happens with that is that, okay, well, I'm going down this road with this person, leading, not only leading them on, but actually allowing that person to catch those feelings that wasn't necessary. Whenever they could have guarded their heart. Guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. That person could have been guarding their heart, yet they was so busy entertaining my ideal of love, that they didn't even really see the reality of the situation. And a lot of us, we present this idea of love, that we don't look at the reality of where we at right now. It's all good to say where we going at, but how am I going to get to that place in the future? So being real about it. Whenever you are real, you can reveal. You can reveal all of those hidden things about yourself, all of those hidden things about the person. God knew that whenever whenever he had to save the world, he had to reveal all of himself to the world. He sent his son Jesus, and Jesus dwelt among us. He made himself flesh and dwelt among men. That was God revealing himself to us. God is love, and like God has showed himself over and over, and over and over to us, time and time again. That's the kind of love that God portrays and that He shows. He's an action. Love is an action, not an abstraction. It's continual over and over again. It makes itself real. Like whenever God continues to confirm Himself over to you, it lets you know that He didn't forget about you. It lets Him know that He cares about you. When God truly steps in your life and He really keeps on showing up over and over again, that's love. It's action. It continually does things. That's what God does. He makes Himself real to you. If you ever really want to know God, He'll show Himself over to you. But it's important for you to ask God who He is to you, how you want Him to reveal Himself to you, and so on and so forth. And I believe that whenever you see who God is, you're gonna be able to see people for who they really are too. Love, love is real. It reveals, and whenever you know that is intentional, and whenever you be real, and it reveals, you're gonna be able to know how to navigate through through your situations better. And what I've come to realize that whenever you fully embrace that concept about the honesty in that, you're going to know that you're going to be able to thrive better. It's good to thrive better in a relationship or a situationship or a companion type deal whenever you have no second guessing. You don't second guess it, but that person to make you feel good. You know why? Because that person going to truly say that, look, hey, this is where we can go. This is where we're at, and we're going to be able to take these steps with each other. What I've learned about women is that they don't operate in the red tape. They don't operate in the middle field. They operate in yes or no. I believe that if a man let a woman know that, hey, look, I can't love you in this way, but I can love you, I believe that they're gonna do so much more for us men. But if us men don't say that, you know what, I don't know how to love you, but I'm going to love you in this way. I believe if we don't do that, um, we're going to set ourselves up for failure because we're going to miss out on a good love. It's okay to say no. I can't love you in this way because then that woman is going to be able to say, okay, well then I can meet you on this level. Once a woman knows how to maneuver in a relationship, they're your best friend. They're your confidant. They truly say that, "Oh, okay, I know you can't love me like this, but you're able to love me this way, so I can be able to meet you in some capacity." But a woman isn't in a middle lane. They either on the left side or the right side. But you, as men, we can be able to either help that or hurt that. And for the woman too, like I think the woman in terms of the man, I think the woman needs to let the man know that, hey, look, if you can't love me like this, then I could accept that kind of love from you. I just need to be able to know that. A lot of times, the woman um don't really express themselves too as well too because a lot of times the woman probably feel like, well, the man's supposed to already know, but sometimes the woman gotta be able to say that, okay, well, I understand where you at, but look, here's what I'm doing. I'm gonna step back until you figure it out. I'm gonna be able to give you something, but I'm not gonna be able to give you everything because I know that my emotions gonna overtake me. So I believe that same way for the men is the same thing for the woman. So it literally comes down to being honest in that. Remember, love is honest. So you should you're supposed to be able to tell a person how you feel and where you go from there. I believe that the Apostle Paul had to tell the church at Corinth that, hey, look, I know you have been on this path of corruption, but if you accept this kind of love, and if you do things in this kind of way, if you do love in this type of way, then you're going to be so much better. I wonder what would happen if we truly take love serious, like treat love as the key to life. Love is the key to life. Uh, when it's true that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. That means that Christ sacrificed, Jesus Christ sacrificed Himself in the midst of all of our wrongdoing. Like Jesus paid the price for that. Like if that doesn't say that that's love, then I don't know what is. I and what we have to know is that it comes with a price. It comes with a price. It comes with honesty is a price. It's a price because if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to do love, then you shouldn't say that you love somebody, as well as too you shouldn't feel comfortable receiving it from somebody without even giving it back. It's generous. The Bible says the liberal soul shall be made fat. That means as you liberally give it, it shall liberally come back to you. And so it comes from a place where we can actually able to say that, man, if I give it, I'm going to receive it. I'm going to thrive. I'm going to thrive in a way that I know how to, because I because I know who I reap what I sow. Because God is not the God of confusion. The more someone is confused, the more someone gets used. Let me run that back. The more a situation is confusing, the more someone will get used. And I believe that it is important for two individuals to be able to become unconfused about what they're truly doing, being honest about their situation. And it's important to know how long you want situations to keep on going on in uncertainty. It's not healthy to be uncertain in anything. It's important to be certain about where the two of you are going. Because when you are certain about where the two of you are going, then you are going to be so much better about your life. You're going to either be able to operate from a friendship point of view or a relationship point of view. You never want to operate from a confused point of view, because one person has feelings and the other person don't have feelings. And what happens is the other person looking to somebody else for happiness instead of looking to their person for happiness. And whenever those two people are supposed to be looking to each other for happiness. And so one person may be saying, "Oh, why you don't love me?" When other person may be like, "Well, I love you, but this is not the way I love you." It's true. It's true. One person may be all in and the other person 50-50. Well, if you do this, then I can do this. Or if you get to a certain point, I can be there to love you. But that's not love. Love isn't conditional. Love bears all things. Love suffers all things. Love meets the need. God sees beyond our fault and blesses our need. That's love. That's honesty. God says, I know you in fault, but I'm going to show up and bless your need. And God has levels of tolerance on how much He's willing to deal with us. But at the end of the day, though, He says that His mercies are new every morning. So that means that, well, eh, sure as who He is, I'm going to still show up for you as I know how. And God isn't a God of confusion. So He gonna let you know that if you keep on messing up, then I have to discipline you. I have to come through for you, but I'm not going to stop loving you. I'm going to always be here. And I think the level of commitment that we have to operate in is that I know that I don't like what you're doing. I don't like what you stand for, but I'm always going to be here for you. I hate the sin. I love the sinner, but I hate the sin. That's what love is. I'm going to be with you through it all. I may have to separate from you for a little while, but I'm going to be here with you through it all. And I think it's important for us to know that if we don't want to deal with somebody, we need to tell them that, look, I can't be with you right now, but one day I may be able to be with you, barring some circumstances or certain situations. But if you let that person know that, then that person may really love you to the capacity that you need to be loved, and that's either pertaining to men or women. But we have to identify these things early, and the more we're gonna be able to thrive in it, the more successful we're gonna be able to be in. God speak to a situation and relationship so much better whenever the two of you are truly tapped into where we are supposed to go. That's why the Bible says, "How can any two walk together unless they be of agreement?" And come together, let us reason with one another. So as you two are in agreement with one another, you should be able to reason with one another. But if you're not in agreement with one another, then you won't be able to reason with one another. So you have to know that, well, in order for me to reason with a person, that I must be walking with that person. I have to be walking with that person. We have to be going somewhere. And so we'll understand. Once we understand that, oh well, then I can reason with you. Then I'm walking with you. If I'm not able to reason with you, then we are not walking in the same direction. And it's okay to say that we're not walking in the same direction. So that means that we have to either sever the ties or come up with a solution that helps out both of us. But us being together in confusion isn't going to solve anything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I believe that that comes from a level of mature conversations. Being mature, being mature is saying that, look, I love you, I appreciate you, but I know that I'm not at that place yet. I'm not at that place yet. I'm not at that place yet to be able to give you the way you give me. The Apostle Paul wrote to various churches and lets them know that, look, I know where you at, but I want to give you something. I want to give you something. In all honesty, you may not be able to give a person everything, but you can give them something. And it's important to know what you're able to give them, and if you really want to give them something. Like if you really want to give them something, and so this is important to know that love is honest. Love is honest. It's generous. It's not a fairy tale um wish, and we say, well, I want to be able to love somebody, and that person love me back but not do anything. No, it requires some work. It requires some sacrifice. It requires a level of honesty, that saying that if that person ain't even where they supposed to be at, if I really want to rock with them, I'm gonna have to deal with them in that boat. Yeah, that's what that requires. Yeah, yeah. So love is honest. Love is honest. Love is honest, and I believe that whenever we start getting honest about our connections with the people that we entangle with, then I think we're gonna be able to hear God first clearly. Two, be able to change, and three, be able to cultivate relationships that's beneficial around us. Yeah. Yeah. So know that love is honest. Love is honest. So this about concludes our episode on our in our love series, that love is honest. So when you get to the end of this message, I want you to go ahead and take a screenshot of the message. Put this in your stories. Uh Let somebody know, tell a friend to tell a friend that love is honest. And tell them, look, y'all, look, if y'all hadn't followed me, I need y'all to go ahead and follow. Look, y'all go ahead and hit the buttons and follow me, because this series is gonna be so good. The love series. I believe that we all need to know how love is, works, and how these things flow together. And I'm pleased to be giving you this series. I'm super stoked about it. I love it, and I love you all. I'm rooting for you all, and I thank God for you, and I thank God that you stopped scrolling and press play on this episode right here. So this conclude the love is honest episode from the Love series, first episode of the Love series. So I love you, and I'm rooting for you. Thank you for tuning into Therapeutic Moments podcast with your host John Trey Mitchell. I love you, and I'm rooting for you.